Hello, and welcome to the Venue Coach Blueprint for Owners. I'm Kyle Labar. This podcast is all about helping you fill your wedding venue with more bookings, earn more from each one, and keep your customers happy for a long time. We'll also talk about some tough times and big lessons that I've learned along the way. Let's dive in together and make your venue the best spot for weddings. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of The Venue Coach. I'm Kyle Labar, and today we're going to talk about the thing that we all care about the most, getting people in the door of the venue, getting those tours. So we're just going to break it down. We'll go real quick over it just to give you some action points, things that we've seen that really work to get people in, and hopefully you can start implementing so that you can increase the amount of tours that you're doing. There's a couple different avenues. So the first is going to be your SEO. If you don't know what that is, that's search engine optimization. Trying to get yourself onto page one of Google. Easier said than done on that as well. That usually takes a lot of time, a lot of content. Quality content is king, and a lot of effort. Things like backlinking, doing guest posts, blog posts. Social can help with that. Do you have a Pinterest blog? You should. That's very helpful. You get a lot of impressions from there. Facebook, what are you doing on your social medias? Are you on Instagram? Those sorts of things. And so consistent posting helps. So that's all organic side. So that's bringing in people with the work of just putting out content. And then there's the paid side of things. So Google ads, Facebook ads, TikTok ads, question mark. Are you looking into those things? And what we have found to work is we get about a 60-40 split of organic. So organic gets about right now 40% of our traffic, and then we get another 60% from paid advertising. And so we primarily do Google and Facebook, and with a stronger leaning towards Facebook. And so we want to get people in the door. We want to show the value from the beginning. How does your website look? Does it look like it's from 2008? Does it is it just like weird fonts and colors that don't match? Like people want a more a better experience on your website. And I'm calling some of you out. I've seen some bad websites as I've been working with some clients. And so that is a first impression. When they come to your website, do you know how long they're staying? Do you know what pages they're going to? Do you know what their click-through rate is? Meaning, are they filling out your forms and then coming through and touring? And so that it starts with the first impression. I mentioned the very first impression is filling out a contact form, but on a previous episode, but that's actually wrong. The very first impression is when they find you online. So if you're posting an ad, if you have a Facebook post or an Instagram post and they're seeing that, how does that look? If they look at your website. How does the website look? All of those things are impressions, right? And they're making small decisions. Well, they're making decisions for or against you based on those things. And if your picture quality is grainy, if it takes forever for your pages to load, if the website's clunky and hard to navigate, that's going to detract people from ultimately clicking through and filling out a form and coming out to see you. And so that's one piece. How are your reviews on Google or Facebook or Yelp or wherever else? Are people talking trash about you? Is it founded? That can be an issue. And so you want to look at not only how things look on the front, but how are you operating on the back end, right? Because really the word of mouth, you're either getting good word of mouth, which is people sending you business, or you get negative word of mouth where people actively tell others not to do business with you. And so you might know more about the good ones who post the 5-star review because you ask and they like you and all that, which is awesome. But you may not know about the people who might have left like a 2-star review But they are telling people that it sucked and they had the worst time of their lives or whatever, and that you'll never know about, or you might never know about, and it's hurting you. And so, are we giving the best service that we can give? I want each of you to remember this one thing. Don't lose sight of who we serve in this industry. You cannot forget who we serve. And if once you start forgetting that, all these other things start showing up. Maybe not the website, but your reviews. It'll start showing. People can tell when you stop caring about them. And so, if you remember nothing else from this episode, remember you have to keep your clients in mind. You have to take care of them. You may do 20, 30, 100 events a year. But to these couples or these families that come in, it might be the one time. Hopefully, many of them. Hopefully, that's their first and only time. And it's up to us to not blow that for them. So you may think, oh well, that was just a bad venue, but for them, that was one of the biggest moments of their life that you just ruined. So if you are one of those type of venue owners that are ruining weddings, shame on you. Shame on you, and fix it, or don't be in the business. It's a disgrace to everybody else. If you're not, if you're actively trying to get better, then welcome and let's get better. And so I just want to hit on that because it's so important that we don't forget. And it's not just venue owners, it's vendors, right? At the end of the day, who's responsible? Who catches all the flack for crappy vendors? The venue, right? So are you curating your preferred vendor list? Do you have a preferred vendor list? And do you work closely with those people? If you're starting out, if you're brand new to the game and you don't have anybody, I mean, you gotta do some trial runs and you have to like run interference when they suck. But you have to keep a vigilant eye out for that, and you gotta stop it in its tracks. At our venues, we have a very, very small handful of blacklisted vendors because they lost sight of who they were serving. And we don't want any of that near our guests. They are your guests, they're your responsibility, and so it's your responsibility. While it may seem silly that you get a 3-star review because the caterer sucks, but guess what? If you knew that they sucked and you still let them be booked, that's on you. So this is a call to fix that. I want to raise, the whole goal here is to raise the bar. We want to provide the best service that we can. And we want to take part of these beautiful couples. If it's a holiday party, if it's a celebration of life, it doesn't matter what it is. These people are coming in to celebrate something, to come together as family and friends. And it's up to you to make sure that you take the best care of them that you can. And if something goes wrong, that's okay. That happens. But let's fix it. So those are the impressions that you make. On the back end to get reviews. On the front end, how does it look when they visit you? Fix those things. Start reviewing that. When was the last time you updated your website? Has it been years? Have you not? Did you set it and forget it? Like, you gotta keep posting pictures and keep things fresh and relevant. And on the back end, when was the last time you posted on Instagram or Facebook or Pinterest? You know, when are you doing those things? Was it a month ago, 6 months ago? We need to be a little bit more proactive. And if you're a bit swamped on doing that, there are people who can help. And so you got to get your name out there. If nobody knows you exist, nobody's going to come see you, and then you're not going to stay in business. So we want to get those eyeballs out. You want to get the eyeballs on your website, get them to stay, and fill out the form so they can come out, do a tour, and then you do the best practices to book them. And so we'll get into that into another episode, but I hope this was valuable. I hope that I got the point across that we can't lose sight of our guests. They're not just 1 out of 100 events or 1 out of 20 events that we do. These are individuals who are celebrating something, possibly one of the biggest days of their life, and it is our responsibility to make sure that that is the best day of their life. So, without beating that dead horse any further, I'll let you guys go. Thanks for sticking with me, and we will catch you on the next one.